We're taking a summer sabbatical while we wait for the arrival of Armondi's bundle of joy. Join us this fall as Armondi the Millennial becomes Armondi the Dad. In the meantime, we revisit some of our favorite interviews. Originally dropped in May 2024, we were thrilled to have Sandra Mason from the ABC hit show Golden Bachelor. She joined us for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at being a part of the Bachelor Nation. Now, I have to admit, as a loyal member of the Bachelor Nation myself, I really enjoyed Sandra hanging out with us, and we hope you'll enjoy this rebroadcast as much as we did. Well, we want to welcome in to the podcast here in just a second, Sandra Mason from the ATL. And we want to just, for those of you who may not be into the Bachelor Nation and the Bachelor and the Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise, and of course, the latest edition, the Golden Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I just
we know you're tapped in.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you watch The Bachelor, all these young people like yourself going through, trying to find love, and you're just sitting there going, oh, okay. But then you get someone your age who is going through that process. And that was pretty cool. Anyway, without further ado, we want to welcome Sandra into the Boomer and Millennial Studios. We just want to thank you, Sandra, for coming on and being a part of Boomer and the Millennial. We really do appreciate that. And I'm so glad we ran into each other, right?
Yeah, that was really cool. I loved it.
Yeah, when he told me the story, I was almost like, there's no way that this actually happened. So, and I've actually told other people, and they're like, there's no way. And I'm like, yeah, they're friends. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because did I have on a mask? You didn't, or did I know you didn't.
No, I did not, and I think you did, but you pulled it down shortly after we spoke. And
yeah, because I run into people in Atlanta all the time. Haven't been here for so long, and I really hate when I see somebody and then that person sees me, and I want to not walk off and say, oh, hey, I just kind of turn my head. That's rude, and I know that person from somewhere, so that's why I kind of engage you, because I'm good with faces but not with names. So I was like, oh wow, I know you from somewhere. So that was pretty wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was great. But as a result, we're able to get you on, and I am just so fascinated with the whole Bachelor Nation. But we're going to talk about that, just the whole Bachelor Nation and all of that. Armondi, not so much, but I'm a big fan. Anita, my wife, is a big fan. So
I'm definitely going to check out this season. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I mean, the last time I watched The Bachelor, The Bachelorette was years ago. So, but I am a fan of reality TV. So, I'm definitely going to check it out, though.
Good for you.
So,
good for
being the millennial that he is. But again, a lot of millennials watch The Bachelor.
You know what? Though, I gotta say, it's really cool, Reggie, that you watch it, because from what I hear and see, that you are not the demographic for this show.
No.
Men are just not, into love and meeting the right person and all that. So the fact that you watched it is really cool. That's
and he's locked in. Trust me.
I love
it. We talk about it, or I'll call them, and both he and my mom are up watching the Golden Bachelorette or the Bachelorette or the Bachelor.
Right.
Or Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, all of them.
So we're gonna jump right in. Okay. We're gonna talk to you, Sandra, about your experience and all of that, but I have got to ask you, hot off the press, that's Joan, is it Vassos?
Vassos.
Is that how you?
Yes.
Yes, being selected as the first Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Did you, what do you
first of all, she's a lucky gal, because there's several of us who would love to have had this opportunity. Have someone else get 20 men together from all over to court us. Whoa, that's kind of a BFD, okay?
Yeah.
She's a lucky gal, but Joan is worth it. She's going to be she's a good candidate for this. Good cast, and she's excited. We're excited for her. All the ladies and I were on a group email chain, or I'm not sure what it's called, but we've all just expressed to one another how excited we are for her. And we just can't wait for the filming to start and then to show to air. And it's just exciting.
Yeah. Well, you were my choice for the Golden Bachelorette.
No bias there, Reg.
Right.
I just want you to know that you're on the top of my list.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm happy for Joan and looking forward to it. And I think that it will air. Is it this fall? Is that right?
My understanding is September, and and I don't know the exact date.
Of course, the next big thing, and I didn't even know this, Armondi told me this. I think it was you, Armondi. Well, no, you told me about the Golden Bachelorette. That's right. He actually texted me about that, and I didn't know. But about Gary and Teresa, the big divorce, huh? Wow, that was news.
Yeah, and we're all disappointed. We all wanted them to stay together and make it work, just because we all experienced them and her and him, and because we all want love, and there's a lot of emotions there. But I would love for them to have stayed together longer to really make it work. I don't know. I wish they could have hung in there a little longer.
Because I know you had a role in the wedding back in January. Did you, in your mind, did you see them kind of making this thing work? And from all of for your experience with the Golden Bachelor?
Yeah, being at the wedding, hearing the vows, seeing the hearts in the air and the birds flying and the, that's the love in the air and the families gathering. It was such a beautiful wedding. You guys didn't see the half of it because it was beautiful. And, the cameras could only pick up so much. And well, they did a lovely job of this wedding. But yeah, I was there, and it just looked like the perfect environment, and the weather cooperated. It was just
So it was a shock. It was as shock to you as it was to me finding out, I guess, right?
Yeah, it was, and shock and disappointing, and doggone it, and how could they? And I went through a range of emotions, like a lot of people did.
That is very unfortunate. I think just for any divorce, right? But let's sort of pivot. Let's talk. I want to know about your experience on the show, right? Like, how did you learn about the show? What made you want to apply? Like, I don't know if I would ever have the courage to go on a reality TV show, and especially one as big as The Bachelorette, right? Or The Bachelor, even though it's something new, I think, it's that franchise, right? And that's already got, I guess what some would say is a cult following, or just a religious following, right? Let's say that. Okay. So like, what made you want to apply and be on the show? Okay.
Well, let me back up just a little bit. First of all, I have been a fan of this franchise since it started. I've seen 98% of all episodes, starting from the beginning with Alex, the very first batch, to Trista, the very first Bachelorette, and then from there, I always watched the show. And at what time I was working, and we'd talk about it the next day at work, and I just became a fan. I was part of what they call Bachelor Nation, although I didn't know that, but it was just fun TV. And so in Zach's season, which in November of 2022, there was this ad on a commercial break that said, we are now casting for seniors between the age of whatever it was. I think at the time it was 65. If you're interested or want to nominate someone, go to abc.com/whatever. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I think it was more of this, not why would I, but why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Right. What the heck?
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, let me tell you something. I have blind dated, traditional dated, blind dated, double dated, speed dated, online dated. Is there anything else I hadn't done? And so it's like, okay, TV dating, why not? Why not?
Right.
I applied. I called my oldest daughter. She can help me do some wordsmithing. Got some really outrageous photos and attached, because everybody's got dogs and kids and grandkids, and I wanted to make sure that they saw me doing something that was out of the ordinary. Like I've been on the Wheel of Fortune,
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, Mr. Millennial, the original reality TV. It was game show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband and I were on the Newlywed Game in 1969.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then I was on the Wheel of Fortune in 1988.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not afraid of TV, although I'm nervous as heck every time, you know. But my daughter and I just, we kind of put this application together. I sent it off and then totally forgot about it. What the heck? That was November of 22. In February of 23, I got this phone call.
Oh.
I started not to answer it. It was a number I didn't recognize. And I thought,
Right,
well, what the
right.
heck?
Yeah.
Somebody selling something, they're going to get a piece of me. But anyway.
Right.
And it was this young gal, and she was just a little energy package, and she started asking me questions, and da-da-da-da. We had this great conversation. And she said, I think I want to make an appointment for you to talk with the casting director. And then it started from there.
Gotcha.
But before the little chat we had was over, she said, Miss Mason, do you have any questions for me? And I said, yes. I said, what took you so long? How rude was I? And she said,
Right.
Miss Mason, we've had over 20,000 applications. So she said, congratulations, you've made the first cut. And I said, oh my. So I apologized to her, of course. And obviously, this was a lot of work. They probably have a staff of I don't know how many going through all these applications.
I didn't know that many people normally apply.
Oh,
I mean, that's probably the average.
Well, no. That was in February of 23. By the time it was over and they cut it off, there were 35,000 applications.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So for me to get one of
people.
22 spots, pat myself on the
Right.
back, shoulder, head.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
yeah. And my kids are proud of me, and
Yeah.
So, but then that's when the journey began.
Yep.
So what was it like? I mean, you got the initial call, but then you had to kind of get down to when did you know you were the finalist, that you were going to actually be on the show?
Do you know I officially never got, some of the other ladies did, or most of them did, I never officially got that phone call or email or text or anything that says I went on. They just started talking about flight arrangements, and I thought, oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess
That
that means
sounds
I'm
more real.
in.
Right.
The vetting process was pretty thorough. It took a while,
Yeah.
but it was worth it. And then I had to shop for clothes and prepay my bills because I was going to be gone for a while. So I had to, make sure I had credit on all my bills.
Yeah.
Had to have I had to get my plants all situated and make sure my friends had duplicates and my mail was collected, and the whole I'm going to be gone for a long time scenario. So it was a lot of work.
So let me ask you that, and I know you get asked this a million times, your impression of Gary. You guys seem to really kind of hit it off in your conversations, and I think you had a one-on-one with him, right?
I had a one-on-one
Yeah.
date or one-on-one chat. What are you asking me?
Well, I know you had a chat. Did you ever have a one-on-one date?
There was two of us that did not have one-on-one dates, and that was Susan and me. But we had several one-on-one chats. You just never saw it. Again, the show on air is 44 minutes a week, which they didn't have time for all.
You can only put so much in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
But I had several chats with Gary, and we had some good conversation. Talked about sports and travel, and just talk.
Yeah.
I thought I thought they did very well with casting him. I just thought that he was. He looked good. He was personable. He interviewed extremely well on television. I don't know if you guys saw him on every ABC show there was. He interviewed very well. I don't know if he was coached or if that was just natural.
I think it was probably just natural. He seemed to be
He's very good.
just naturally, felt comfortable. Yeah, I know it's a little daunting. You've got cameras all over the place because different angles.
You
and,
just don't know.
I can only imagine. I've been on some. So I get it. But he. You all came across very comfortable in probably a really uncomfortable situation, as reality TV can be. Talking about that, so your pros and cons. You're now officially a part of the Bachelor Nation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how does that feel? What's that like? Because it's not, as Armondi mentioned, it's not just about being on a reality show. You're a part of
it's I mean, some would say the reality show.
Yeah.
So, you know.
You know what? I feel very special. I'm blessed, obviously. That's a total blessing to have this. I every time I go to a grocery store and someone recognizes me, it feels good. It's just something that there's no comparison of this to anything else I've ever experienced in my 75 years on Earth, 75 and 10/12 on Earth. And so it just, oh, guys, I don't know how to explain it. It feels good.
No, yeah, I was going to say at 75, you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would also agree.
Yes.
I would also agree.
Yeah.
Is there anything you didn't like about your experience at all that you can share or you feel like sharing?
Let's see that I didn't like. I wasn't crazy about the California heat. We go to California.
That's fair.
In the middle of summer, and Southern California. Let's see. It was interesting being in a environment with 20 women, or then 15, and then down and down.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what was that? I mean, because for me, I had to go on a retreat about a month ago, and I had my own room, but we all shared the same shower and bathroom down the hall. And I was like, I hadn't been in this situation since college.
Well,
my even early years, like my freshman year in college.
And how many decades ago was that?
That was
you were young, and that was no big deal.
No big deal.
Right.
Yeah. I tell you something, guys. It was tough. We were in a room there was 4 of us in my room, and we were each allowed 2 suitcases, right? Well, okay, that's 8 suitcases, and actually a couple of gals even brought more than the allowance. So we were literally stepping in each other's suitcases to get from point A to point B, maybe being the closet or the bathroom. The bathroom was small.
Yeah.
Closet was small. I mean, it was a tough environment. Somebody told me I snored. I said, "What? No way! I don't snore." But I got some breathe right strips. I think that took care of it. But
so how? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Armondi.
I was just gonna ask, how long were you away from home? Like, how long were you there?
I was there about 4.5 weeks, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far did you make it in the show?
I made it down to the rose ceremony where there were 6 of us left. 3 of us.
Oh, that's
pretty. 3 of us had hometown. Hey, Armondi, you there? Shame on you. You should have seen it. 3 of
Yeah.
3 of us went home. The other 3 went on to hometowns with The Bachelor.
So now we all know, I think probably the most reaction from your being on the show was, speaking of being away from home, was your daughter's wedding. I saw there was just a lot of back and forth about the fact that you missed your daughter's wedding as a result of being on the show. You want to talk about that? Because I know.
Talk about that because I want to talk to all the people who villainized me on this. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
One.
And congratulations to your daughter, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, she's got a great hubby.
Absolutely.
Great son-in-law. I'm so blessed. But let me tell you, they picked their date for getting married long before the word bachelor came into our lives. Okay.
Right.
So they did not have a huge to-do. But when the dates were exposed to me and the rest of the cast, I had conversations with my daughter and son-in-law, and my daughter was like, "Mom, really? You need to go. I got my guy. You go get yours."
Look at yours.
My son-in-law, great guy, said, "Mom, our ceremony is 8 minutes. Our marriage is forever. Let's celebrate forever." She said, "Go."
Yeah.
And when I said, "You guys, maybe I should stick around," they got a little ticked off at me. "No, go.
Right.
Yeah.
They're each. This was a second marriage for each. He's a grandfather. It's not like this was. She's 20 years old and she's in a huge flowing white gown with 6 bright kids and all those.
Yeah.
No. They're too mature for that. So
Gotcha. Well, that's very cool of her.
Cool of them.
And him. Yeah, cool of them. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And so it was not a big deal. It turned out not a big deal. Yeah, that's
there you go. Tell the haters. Let them know.
Yeah.
Doggone
Yeah.
it.
Well, we're behind you on that 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want you to know.
So, Armondi, have you been married?
Yes, I
Yes.
am married.
for
Yes,
you.
going on 2 years this year in August.
Oh, just out of the
Yeah.
newlywed honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Yeah,
well,
so-
you know, I mean, yeah. You know. I still very much like my wife as much as I love her. So, you know, she's been away in Ireland for a business trip for the past week or so. So she comes back today. So I'm very excited.
Wow.
So,
You know,
yeah.
my daughter and her job flew to Hawaii, I don't know, a few weeks ago. She had to be with a client. And my son-in-law called me. He said, Mom, I miss her. And I said, why are you calling me? He said, well, you know, talking to you brings me closer to her. And I'm like, oh,
that is.
why can't I find a guy like him? You
Yeah.
know, he's wonderful. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's get to know a little bit about you
Okay.
personally.
Yeah.
Are you originally from Atlanta?
Technically, yes. I was born here.
Okay. Wow.
I was born here, but I didn't grow up here. My parents were Spelman and Morehouse graduates, but they did not want to raise their family in this Jim Crow South. Now, mind you, this was 75 years ago. They were considered educated Negroes or educated coloreds.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but you know, they had struggles being educated, so to speak. But they were also kind of considered like middle class, if there was such a thing in the Negro community. But at any rate, they did not want to raise their family here. We moved to California, and I grew up in San Francisco. So technically, I'm from here. My birth certificate says Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
Yeah.
And how'd you get back? What brought you back to
23 years ago, I got a divorce. And I wanted to make a change in life. I wanted to grow up, mature again. And but I didn't want to go back to California. I wanted something new and different. And I thought, you know, my mom would be pretty excited to know that I came back to Atlanta. She actually died here. She came here for an alumni event and never made it back home. She and a Mack truck or thing had a collision. And anyway, I just thought she would be pleased with me moving here. And you know, at the time, this was 2001, just prior to 9/11. You know, it was a good job market, and I had friends who lived there. And I said, "Gosh, I'm moving without a job." And they said, "Sandra, if you can't get a job here, you're stupid." And I said, "Well, I know I'm not stupid."
I'm stupid.
So I came on faith. And it has worked out for me and my youngest daughter, who was 15 at the time. And,
Gotcha.
who was excited about coming. I didn't have to pull her, drag her here. She was ready to go.
Right.
Yes, it was a good transition for both of us.
That's good. That's good.
Well, I hear you're a big NFL fan.
Oh, yeah.
So do you how do you feel about the Falcons? Are they your favorite team now? Now living in Atlanta, or do you have a favorite team? How you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, I have a favorite league. It's the National Football League.
Okay, gotcha.
I have 32 favorite teams.
Okay.
Falcons are not on the top of the hierarchy.
You're right. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
which I don't blame you for.
Right. I feel sorry for those who invest, but that's a whole nother podcast, right?
Right.
I just think that Arthur Blank is not one of those owners who's wants to win a Super Bowl. He doesn't monetarily invest in players and coach staff, and this is a business for him, and he has other businesses, and so I just, he's not a Robert Kraft, he's not a Jerry Jones. I think he's just the Falcons.
So we kind of do some things like the quarterback now, and that whole thing.
I mean, really, Kirk Cousins. Okay, really.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And all that.
I mean, yeah. I wasn't too happy about that pickup either. Well, do you have any favorite players that you like to follow and watch? I mean, if you like to just watch football, is there anyone that you like to watch specifically, or you just enjoy the way they play?
Yeah, I like the partnership of Mahomes and Kelsey and
it's fun to watch.
They're fun to watch. Yes, even when they're off, they're still fun to watch. And
I mean, And
the two teams I wanted to be in the Super Bowl were in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
And damn, it was a good game.
It was.
As much as I look forward to the Super Bowl, I also think, oh shoot, after this, there's nothing. So, but
Mm-hmm. So we won't keep you. We just have couple more questions
to keep me.
Get to know you. Now you mentioned, I did hear in another interview, you're a big time Luther Vandross fan.
Yeah, honey.
I know you don't have a favorite NFL team, but is there a favorite song of Luther that
I like Never Too Much.
That's a good song. Come on.
I can clean my house and your house if Never Too Much is on.
Yo, that's so funny.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That is one
over and over again until
I love that song.
Yes.
Love that song.
Yes. And of course
that is one of his favorite songs.
Luther's my guy.
I mean, he's a great artist, but
he was.
Range.
Yeah. But
R&B.
Yeah. But that was Armondi's. You learned about. You heard the song first, and did you know it was Luther or? I
can't remember the first time I heard the song.
But I remember you really saying that you would love that song. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been a huge fan of that song for a long time. I mean, you used to play it, and I think you had it on a CD. And I don't know if there are times when I've borrowed your car. And of course, like you don't, in your car, you don't have Bluetooth. So I am subjected to the wide range of CDs that you have in the car. Because the radio, sometimes it can be a bit iffy. So, it can get stuck on certain stations. So I try not to mess with it too much. So I have to, play the CDs. And you probably have it on a CD. So I've probably heard it numerous times from there. I have it on my phone. I mean, like you said, I could clean, my house and your house to that song too. So, that's a great one.
Energizing. You just
That's great. I know you're a fan of thrift stores.
Yes.
Right. And as Armondi's mother, my wife, she's a big. I think she's at one now, as a matter of fact.
Not surprised.
So in Atlanta, where do you like to go?
There's several, but let me tell you why I'm a fan of thrift stores. Because my hobby, which I've had for over 10 years now, is I am a dealer in a dealer's mall in Chamblee, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
It's okay to make a plug for them. It's called Simple Finds, Finds.
Can you break down exactly what you do? Yeah.
Absolutely. I rent space, as do 129 other people. And the merchandise in my space is things that I find and locate from thrift stores, from estate sales, from auctions, from neighbors, and rare finds. And sometimes I'll locate something and have to zhuzh it up, repaint it, fix it up, whatever, or put together a wreath from the things I find at a thrift store. There's so many besides the Goodwills. There's Lost and Found, there's Second Life, there's Fur Kids, FUR Kids. There's so many thrift stores that donate to different charities that where you can find treasures. And so that's how I get merchandise from my store. The beauty of Simple Finds for me is that I don't have to stay there. I don't have to stay there all day. They staff the store. I just have to tag my merchandise so they know whose it is when a customer brings it up to the counter to pay for it. And yeah, it's really a cool hobby, you guys. And tell Anita if she wants to shop, please go there. And she's not obligated to buy, but she's got to look. She will ooh and ah her way through that store. And see, here's the thing, you guys. The things that are here are not things you'll find at TJ Maxx or Target or they're unusual. They're period pieces, anything from mid-century to vintage to contemporary, and the movie studios shop there because of the period pieces. The set decorators can use to fulfill the sets, and it's fun. It's fun. I have another plug. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah.
I am still a single woman. Okay.
Yes, I was getting ready.
Any of your listeners has a brother, uncle, cousin who's maybe, of 65, 62-ish. I'm going deep there. That's single and, looking for a mate.
Okay.
All right.
Have them hit you up and connect us.
We'll make that. Yeah, we'll make that happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Who needs the Bachelor Nation? We can do this.
I might
Yeah,
be
exactly.
55, but
You came. Listen, you came to the right place.
I have energy here. I've got 65-year-old energy, so I'm
sure
ready to
do.
rock and roll. Okay.
I think you've
Very
got 45-year-old energy.
Well, I don't know.
Sandra,
Some
I
days
can
I don't know. But thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, Armondi, you got?
Well, real quick, if you don't, mind telling us just, how your experience was on Wheel of Fortune, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay,
how was that?
A little bit of background on that. When the show first came on 41 years ago, all my life I've watched game shows as a child, Tell the Truth, Name That Tune, all those oldies. So when this Wheel of Fortune thing came on, it wasn't Pat Sajak, it was, what's his name? Chuck Woolery.
Yeah.
So I watched that show and I became a student of that show. I love the English language to begin with, but I watched it. I became a student, not knowing that that's what I was doing. And one day a friend of mine said, Sandra, why don't you go on that show? I thought, well, yeah, maybe I should. So I called their 800 number, made an appointment. I knew when I was going to be in LA and made an appointment and tried out, which was no small feat back then, it was a test of hangman, if you know that game.
Yeah.
Started out with 110 people in the room, and when that hangman part was over, there were 11 of us left.
Wow.
Yes, and we had to introduce ourselves, talk about ourselves. Who can't do that?
Yeah.
And then they put us through a little mock show, and they just wanted to see energy and someone who's committed, I guess. 3 weeks later, I got a phone call. I was called out of a meeting. Sandra, there's an important phone call for you. And I thought, what the heck is this? And it was one of the producers, and they said, we'd like you to come down to Hollywood. And I said, hey, I'm already packed, okay?
Right.
But I tell you guys, there was a half an hour of my life every day that my kids knew, don't bother Mom. Mom's not answering the phone, not answering you. Nothing. That half hour was my half hour a day, and I would watch the Wheel of Fortune. And
I love it.
I was just hooked. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I got this opportunity, man, I tell you, and
you won.
And I won over $30,000.
What? That is crazy.
I know.
That's the best part. What?
Well, that was the best part. Yeah. It's bragging rights. And then the local TV station came to my office and did a little video of me.
Okay.
Yeah. But
You're a local celebrity already.
Yeah. But here's the weird part, you guys. The show was scheduled to air on Monday night. Okay, and the Seattle Seahawks were playing the Oakland Raiders. But here's the thing, at the time I was living in the Seattle area. So the two teams that I would want to see most, and everybody I knew would be watching, was the same time my show was going to air. Oh my God. I called the station, I talked to someone who referred me to someone else, and finally got the programming manager, explained the situation to him, and he said, I can't impact the total market, he said, but I can make sure in the Seattle market here, we'll put your show on Tuesday.
Oh,
what?
At least your family and friends will.
That's incredible. Well, okay. Well, now, and you got pull in Seattle too. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, back in the day you could do that. Can't do that now, but it's
so I got to watch the game and also watch my and it be a big party.
And you won some money, man.
Won some ducats. Yes, indeed.
Yes. So, Sandra, thank you so much. I do have one other thing for those, and I know you're still looking for that one person. But what would you say to any individual still kind of looking, but also if you're older, seeing you going through this experience, what would you do just to encourage them to
Well, gosh, don't give up. Keep your radar up, and make sure your friends know, and your relatives, and anyone you do a podcast with knows that you are, that you're still interested. If you are interested, there's some people who don't care, but fingers crossed, keep hope alive. I don't know what other cute phrases I can come up with, but it's just under the umbrella of still being motivated, knowing that I have something to offer a man and want what he has to offer me. And I'm not talking about his wallet. I'm not talking about that. just his presence and his energy and his
Companionship, yeah.
ability to travel and kiss. And I'll leave it at the word kiss.
Live the right.
And have some Luther Vandross in his life.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. We're going to keep that and you in prayer, and just you know, you just been a wonderful guest. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, great energy.
We really do appreciate
Thank
you
you
spending
guys.
this time with us.
Thank you for inviting me here. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And get your behind over to a Simple Finds.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, dear.
You can listen to this entire episode and other Boomer and Millennial episodes on your favorite podcast platform or on our website at boomerandthemillennial.com. Now, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe and share. I'm Reggie the Boomer, and we'll be back at it like, well, you know the rest, next month with a new episode and a new member of the Boomer and Millennial family. Until then, we're out. Peace.